And that's where I have an issue. See, I think it should be the same standard from age 3. Because what if a 6-year-old posts something online defamatory? If a 6-year-old posts something defamatory online and they've been online since they were 3 or 4 years old, which they're way more advanced now, you can't sue them?
Why are we in such a hurry to sue a 6-year-old? Look, even if that kid can work a computer and post stuff online, that kid doesn't understand defamation, reputation. The kid barely understands true and false. They certainly don't understand what being defamed means. I mean, again, maybe not literally, certainly. I can imagine a world in which there is someone who's right at the cusp of 7, who's a particularly precocious child and actually is capable of harboring this mental state. But for simplicity's sake, the court has decided rather than having to make this decision in every case, we're going to first say that everyone who's under 7 is just out. Anytime you're setting forth a bright line instead of just saying in every case, let's do this assessment, you are running the risk that you're going to find a situation where the child is particularly precocious and they fall on the wrong side of this bright line and it feels as applied unjust. But I don't feel like the risk of not being able to hold some 6.5-year-old accountable. Oh man, I can't sue this 6-year-old. How unjust. Yeah, maybe this 6-year-old was just barely bad enough to be sued. In the grand scheme of injustices that are baked into our legal system, this one seems to rate pretty low on the list.
But I'm so hyper focused on just the singular issue of whether, as the law is applied to under 7 versus 7 to 14, it's inconsistent to me. If I'm focused just on that legal issue, I think the court's wrong. And there was a heavy dissent arguing why the court was wrong. But that is the law.
And we run into them all over the place in the law. There's a bunch of places in the law where our cutoff is based on age. And then as applied to actual individuals who were one day before or one day after that age, they're not any different. So it's always going to feel a little bit unjust. How come this person is allowed to vote and this person's not when they were born one day apart? Because we had to pick some date. We had to pick some time. The specific place you put it is always a little bit arbitrary.